Welcome, JJ Vikings fans, sports fans, NFL fans. JJ Vikings here with Dustin, very popular Vikings content creator, or the Clip King, if you will, providing all these incredible Vikings clips from training camp and all the incredible practices. Uh, how's your day today, Dustin?
It's been pretty good. We had training camp practice today out in the heat. It was scheduled to rain, but we were lucky enough to not have it rained on us today. But it was kind of humid, kind of hot. Glad that's over. We got training camp practice again tomorrow, so hopefully it's a little cloudier for tomorrow, a little cooler. But we'll see. Yeah, I think practice has been going pretty good for the Vikings so far too.
That's great. How do you do the clips? Obviously, I know you record them and all. First of all, how do you get them in such great quality? I don't think it's just a cell phone that you use. I think do you have an actual camera setup that you bring to training camp?
Yeah, so this will actually surprise you, but I actually do use my iPhone 14 Pro,
Interesting.
as my camera. I just kind of record it, and I think it's 1080 and then 60 FPS, something like that. And I'm actually using that right now as my webcam. So I think it turns
Cool.
out pretty good. When it gets a little farther away, it's a little grainier, if that makes sense. But yeah, once you get close up in the action, it looks really clear. So
It does actually. It does. They're
yeah,
excellent quality clips. Do you
thank
just
you.
have your phone out the whole practice, or do you record only specific plays, or like what exactly do you focus on while you're doing the recording?
Yeah, so when I go out there, when I first started it, I would kind of record everything, every little bit, every drill, every practice, whatever it is. Now I just kind of wait till the 7-on-7 start and 11-on-11s. That's kind of where you get the most action throughout practice, and yeah, that's what you get. So outside of McCarthy throwing 3 yards in front of him to dump off to Aaron Jones, that's not super exciting. We've all seen that a million times. What we haven't seen is the 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s. So I just kind of record for that.
Okay. Uh, what's the most impressive thing you've seen in the 7-on-7s or the 11-on-11s?
I really like, so starting with the 7-on-7s, that's where you don't have your offensive line or defensive line. You're just kind of throwing to your receivers and then having your corners kind of cover. But for that drill, I really like our competitive nature of our wide receivers and defensive backs. I think both sides are definitely making plays. The wide receivers look promising. From Addison to Thayer Thomas to who's number 81, Lucky Jackson. So our receivers are kind of getting open, making some plays, but at the same time, our cornerbacks, they're kind of making some good plays too. You got Dwight McGlothern getting 3 picks in 3 straight days. He's looking pretty good out there. Zamiah Vaughn, our UDFA, he's looking really good. So just the competitive nature of the wide receivers and the cornerbacks, I think they're looking really good. And then when you do 11-on-11s, you have your offensive line and your defensive line. I think just that battle in itself is looking really good. With the offensive line, Darisaw will be in there once in a while. You got your left guard Donovan Jackson, your first round rookie, Ryan Kelly, Will Fries, and then Brian O'Neill. I think it's a really strong unit, honestly. And then once you get Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave in there, then it's really a battle because somebody's got to win at the end of the day. And we've been seeing a lot of sacks. I shouldn't say a lot, but a good handful of sacks, and then a good handful of just offensive line just plowing over people too. So I think it's a good mix of both
Especially
worlds.
from what I hear, Walter Rouse made some good plays against the D lineman too, right?
Yeah, he's been holding up his own against Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave, Dallas Turner, which all those guys all are making good plays throughout camp too.
That's good. That's good. Um, what is now? I'm going to switch to the individual players. What's the most uh, impressive thing you've seen from JJ McCarthy? Obviously, we know he's made a lot of incredible plays. Like what people are saying is Mahomes type of plays. But what have you
Mhm.
seen personally that you think is one of the most impressive or the most impressive things he's done?
I think it's just building off of what he's done last year, where obviously he was a rookie last year. He didn't know the system. He's kind of learning it, learning his teammates, everything like that. So, there's lots of improvements from last year to this year, where like today, for example, there's no real deep shots at all today because they were all working on short yardage situations, third and short, third and medium, third and long, just kind of like those intermediate weighty downs, stuff like that Kevin O'Connell really talks about. So just kind of being precise, making great decisions. His mechanics are changing a little bit too. So I think just kind of going year in and year out with McCarthy so far, I think just those little improvements I think are making a big difference for him.
Okay. Um, well, I think that as a rookie quarterback, or well, he was a rookie last year, but he's going to be playing his first NFL game this year. Um, what I think as a rookie quarterback, sort of a rookie quarterback, is that
Mm-hmm.
JJ McCarthy playing against the Brian Flores defense will be very, very uh, good for him, very challenging. It's a tough challenge. Well, not too tough for him, but it's a good challenge because when you have a rookie quarterback as talented as JJ McCarthy is, when he's going up against a Brian Flores defense that can help him, that can kind of help him understand how challenging the other defenses are going to be too. Like
Yep.
when the game's really going to be happening, when he actually has to play, and I mean like
Mm-hmm.
not just practice, like an actual game. I think these practices against Brian Flores' defense will help him against teams that have coordinators or even head coaches that are just as aggressive as Brian Flores is.
Yeah, I mean, there's no better way to kind of get your career started than going against the Brian Flores defense every day in practice because I think sharpens iron. We all know that. It's kind of like going into Madden too, where and you got your rookie, your
Mm-hmm.
intermediate, and then you got like expert or all Madden, whatever the highest difficulty is. I think JJ is going into the all Madden difficulty right away, and when you face those easier defenses throughout the year, like the Bengals or the Lions, they're a little easier defense to go against. Uh, that's kind of turning the setting down to maybe like a rookie or intermediate, whatever it is, something that's not all Madden for JJ McCarthy. So that's kind of like the simple way to put it. But yeah, I think B-Flow, I mean, he looks, his scheme is really good. The defense looks really good, very promising. So I think JJ, I think, yeah, going after B-Flow in practice, against his defense, I think that really helps him mentally and physically because he's got all the abilities. We've seen it.
Mm. So you talked about the Madden difficulties. Are you much of a Madden player at all?
I'm a big Madden player, yes.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Uh, what's your favorite team to play as in Madden besides the Vikings? Which team do you find is a very comfortable experience for you to play as once in a while in Madden?
Besides the Vikings, probably I feel like the Ravens are very fun to play with. Their defense is really fun. The Bills. Let's see. Let's pick an NFC team too. Let's go with. Who is really fun? Do I dare say the Lions? I mean, they got Amon Ra. He's really fun to play with. Jameer Gibbs is fast, so the Lions, I think they're kind of fun to play with in Madden too. They got some weapons.
Mm,
I
all
know we
right.
don't like that answer,
There
but
were
that's what
other
it is.
answers. There were definitely other answers.
Oh yeah,
Uh, I did really like the Ravens with both Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. It really boosted my ability
yeah.
to run consistently
Oh
and
yeah.
effectively.
Yeah. I mean, when you got Derrick Henry, probably one of the better backs in the league, it's pretty easy to run the ball for sure.
I actually recently broke off one of the meanest trucks with him, like really mean.
Oh
It was
really?
pretty crazy.
Oh, that's cool.
It's actually
Yeah.
on my Yeah, it's actually on my second channel.
Okay. You'll have to send me a link to that. I'll have to check that out.
All right, all right. It's JJ Vikings Edits and Gaming, by the way. Just
Edits
I
and
think it.
gaming.
I think the
Okay.
names. I think the name will be recognizable in the algorithm. Um,
Sure.
but yeah, it's pretty cool. I use it for what I don't usually do on my analysis when it comes to just gaming, and I think it really helps me, gaming wise.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Thank you for telling me about that.
Yeah, of course. Well, now back to the Vikings in training camp. Do you think, because you mentioned that the wide receivers look promising, do you think that Ty Felton is one of them?
Uh, with Ty Felton, it's kind of he's kind of hit and miss right now. I mean, he has the athletic ability. I mean, for what was he, a third round pick? I mean, for me to say this right now, he's kind of like a developing player right now. His hands are kind of questionable. I mean, his route running's been pretty good. His speed's been pretty good. Everything else has been pretty good. I think his hands are a little worrisome. I want to see how he plays in a preseason game, in a live game, throughout the whole season too, because maybe he can turn things around. Because Jamar Chase coming into the league, he had a lot of drop issues, and he's now one of the better wide receivers in the NFL, up there with Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, all these other guys too. So, not saying that Ty Felton's going to be one of those guys, but I think if he can work on, standing in front of the jug machine, catching those balls after practice, I think he'll turn into something a little better than what we expect.
hmm Um, I think that now for the corners, I'm very impressed with how Dwight McGlothern is doing, or nickname is Nudie, of course. But what have you seen from the corners, or do you think that does Dwight McGlothern stand out to you the most compared to other corners like Makai Blackman, who I'm hoping is going to come back strong from that ACL injury he had last year. But do you see any other corners, or actually no, including Dwight McGlothern? Do you think he stands out the most?
Yeah, I mean, it's really you stand out a lot when you have three picks in 3 straight days in training camp. You're gonna stand out. He's
That's
doing
awesome.
something right, and it's not like these balls are just out up in the air and he's out there trying to catch it. He's cutting these routes and picking it off, and it's going the other way. So. I think reading these routes correctly too for him, I think that's really nice to see. Another guy like Jeff Okuda, the former third overall pick, you're kind of seeing a little bit of that third overall pick in Jeff Okuda in Brian Flores' system. So that's always really cool to see. It's I think what we need too, because if somebody does go down, whether it's God forbid Byron Murphy or Isaiah Rogers, I think he's next in line, and I think he could probably hold his own. Uh, he's had good plays, he's had bad plays, just like with any other corner that we have or any other corner in the league. So Zamai Vaughn, he's been kind of holding his own to the UDFA. I really like him as well, number 34. So I think we got a good cornerback room. Uh, I don't know if I would put too much stock into who's doing like second, third, even first team reps right now outside of your starting corners. But I think we got a good mixed bag of cornerbacks in our cornerback room.
Okay, that's some good insight. That's definitely some good insight. I am pretty excited actually about seeing him in a preseason game, but also
Mm-hmm.
about our quarterback JJ McCarthy starting in a preseason game. I believe he'll have one or two series to play in to see what he can do because he hasn't played in a preseason game for about a year now almost.
Yeah, I think he'll probably play. I think maybe a series or two. I think that's fair, and then you can give Howell and then Ripon and then Max Browsmer some reps too.
That's I think that's pretty reasonable. Uh, First of all, on the defensive side, I am buying the Jeff Okuda hype.
Okay.
On the offensive side, out of all due respect, I'm not really a Sam Howell guy. I'm not really a Sam Howell guy.
No.
I think
I
there were some better backup options than Sam Howell.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I would like to see Sam Howell in a preseason game, just kind of see how he operates. Maybe he's not the YOLO guy that he's been in practice, where he's just checking the ball up, and it's getting intercepted, stuff like that. But to see him in a live game, he's shown flashes in Washington. A little bit in Seattle. He hasn't really played much in Seattle, but just in Washington, he's looked like a pretty decent quarterback. If we can get that out of him, I think we'll be just fine. But as of this very moment in practice, I think that we should probably look for a solid QB2, a good veteran for sure.
Okay. A few quick shout outs. Shout out to Talk to Me Africa. That's my mom. To Bart, uh, Vocal Vike, Uncle Rob, good to see you. And Jackson uh, Bilkis. Hope I pronounced that right. Skull to you all. Thank you guys for joining the live stream.
Let's go.
My next question is: do you feel that the Vikings have a chance of winning? First of all, the over under is the over under for, let's say, 11 games. Do you think it's over or under that? It's okay to say 10-7, honestly, because the schedule is pretty tough. Is pretty tough.
Yeah, I was kind of, before the season, or I guess, yeah, before the season, before the schedule came out, everything like that. I kind of always said, they'll hover around 10 wins for sure. Whether that's 10 wins, 11 wins, 9 wins, whatever it is. I think they'll hover around that 10, 11 win mark. They got a pretty decent schedule. We'll see how the teams play out, once we get to them. But I think you're not quite playing a first place schedule. You're playing a second place schedule, which is still pretty, it's pretty decently tough. So, with that said, I think that around 10 wins will probably do it. And maybe that wins the division. We don't know.
Um, Sometimes I find the way they sort that out with, first of all, the division and then also the conferences and like where you sit in the playoffs, depending on what seed you are. I found that a little fishy last year, how kind of low we were, considering
Yeah.
we were a 14-3 team.
Yeah, I know. I wish they would change that. It's kind of like, if you win your division or second place even, you're still going on the road. It sucks. Kind of like last year. We had a better record than the Rams last year, but we kind of had to play at the Rams, obviously in Arizona. But, still, I would like to see that, played in Minnesota for once. So, we'll see.
Shout out to you, Skull for Life Barber. Appreciate you for tapping in to the live stream. Appreciate it. Thank you. And the Minnesota Vikings schedule, I like the insight you gave. I think that we really don't know when it comes down to the actual record. I know that we never truly know, but this year it's like we really don't know because I know we're hyping up JJ McCarthy, but we don't truly know what we have, not in a way that he knows or even KOC knows.
Yep.
So I feel that we will still be surprised a little bit, hopefully in a good way, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the skills that he's been showing and all that, I like the way he's playing, and I think he has a chance to be the starting quarterback for this football team for a long time. I do have to admit, though, during the draft, I did want Jaden Daniels more than I wanted JJ McCarthy. I'll admit that. I'll confess that. But I'm perfectly happy with what we have now, for sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of those quarterbacks, you wouldn't mind having on the Vikings, like Jaden Daniels. I know a lot of people were big on Drake May too, but when we got JJ McCarthy, I'm not a big college guy. I don't watch college football too much, but I was excited for JJ McCarthy. For him to be, coached up by Kevin O'Connell, I think that's a big thing. Whatever quarterback we got in that draft, just to have paired with Kevin O'Connell, I think was a pretty big deal. And JJ's a smart guy. He's got the talent. I think he has what it takes to be a good starter in this league. Hopefully a great starter someday. But yeah, no, I'm super excited for it.
I am too. I am too. Uh, One another question or this is actually one of the questions that fans are really excited about. How did you manage to start the annual selfie with KOC at training camp? How did you manage to start that?
Yeah, so it started last year, obviously, with me just kind of waiting around at practice, at the night practice, kind of waiting around. They have fireworks afterwards. All the players and their families are all in the field, watching the fireworks, stuff like that. And then just kind of waiting around afterwards, after the fireworks are done, kids wait around for autographs, stuff like that. Here comes Kevin O'Connell. He's coming and signing and, goes down the line. And, I'm like, hey, Kevin, let's get a selfie, let's get a picture. So he takes my phone, does a selfie from down at the on the turf down there, and finally got that picture going. And I just remember that all these other kids to my right all wanted a picture with Kevin O'Connell, and he's like, you know what, guys? How about you guys take a picture from up there because I can't hold everybody's phone and take a picture. So I was kind of like the only one that got a picture from him holding the phone from a selfie view, but yeah, this year just kind of did the same thing. Waited around after practice, kind of came down the line, started signing things. And I'm like, hey, Kevin, you know what? Let's get another picture. I don't know if he quite remembers me from last year, but yeah, we got that second picture and definitely grateful for it. I wish he would have signed some for me, but I didn't have anything for him to sign. But yeah, it's super, super cool moment. Hopefully he can do it again next year. That'd be really cool.
One thing that would be super awesome was to get my JJ Vikings hat signed by him, because
Oh,
that'd
wouldn't
be
that be
incredible,
cool?
or signed by anyone, honestly. You know,
Yeah, for
so
real.
because
Oh
I
yeah.
really do love the merch that we
Or
managed to
by
make.
Jefferson.
Maybe by anyone, maybe by
Yeah,
anyone.
yeah.
Any player, whether you're a first string player, a second or third string player, whether you're the most popular player on the team, whether you're not the most popular player on the team, I'll take a signature from anyone, absolutely anyone.
Oh yeah, for sure. I like that you're humble about it.
Appreciate it. Um, I think that this team is very, very special, and we've built kind of a culture where we're very humble with our teammates, but also very excited with them, and just very, very hopeful and optimistic. And we kind of built the Viking way, where we're just always kind to one another and always supporting each other on the field. Which is why I didn't like when that punch was thrown at training camp. When that punch was thrown, because I'm like when I remembered who did that, I was like, man, that's some Packers stuff. We cannot be doing that. That's some Packers, Bears, Lions stuff. Cowboys stuff, Saints stuff. Those kinds of guys. We can't be doing that. I don't think that we should be throwing punches at our own teammates. But I believe it got resolved.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see some fight, just metaphorically, just some fight from the offense because they kind of got bullied around the past couple practices from that defense and the defensive line. So it's nice to see a little bit of fight. I don't know about punches being thrown, but just kind of verbal stuff, kind of tell the defense, hey, I'm here too. I'm here. You don't have to bully me around. So I don't know. It's kind of nice to see a little bit of that fight. But yeah, we don't need some actual harming of people, the Saints or Lions, whatever they do. So, or even Chiefs, they've had a couple fights too. But as long as we're not like them, I think we got a pretty good group going on.
Yeah, I think verbal fights are okay. Some light shoving would be okay, as long as you're like, hey man, still love you after that, after
Oh
doing
yeah,
that. Just to remind them that you still rock with them.
yep, exactly. You're all brothers. You're all on the same team.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's I think that's the reminder that some players need to be given sometimes. Not necessarily on our team, but when you're playing in training camp, we know that you're playing against one another, against each other, but you are still on the same football team. This is a practice, and it's not a regular game, and that's another reason why obviously they strongly advise against actually sacking your quarterback, because I mean you could injure him and then put him out of the starting position for the next 3-4 weeks if it's that
Yep,
bad,
or longer. Yeah,
or longer, 100% longer could be that.
yeah, definitely don't need that.
Now my question for you is, I'm gonna read each game, and I want to know from you if it's a win or a loss, if that's all right, from your
Okay, let's do
perspective.
it. Let's do it.
Monday Night Football, Vikings Bears. I think that's a victory, but what do you think?
I got a win for us.
And then against the Falcons, the home opener, the game that I'm pretty sure I'll be going to. I'll definitely be at Skullfest. Will you be at Skullfest?
I will be. I'll try my best to be there. I'll try.
It was really
Yeah,
fun meeting you last year, by the way. That was incredible.
yeah. I
Awesome
loved it
meeting
last
you.
year. I'll definitely be there. So
All right. So against the Falcons, we're going to be wearing our classic uniforms. We're going to be rocking those. I think those are pretty cool. Uh,
2-0.
I still don't know whether or not Kirk Cousins will be the starting quarterback for the Falcons. Oh wait, sorry, that's a forbidden name to mention on here. My bad.
Yeah, no.
Oh
I
wait,
think
you
he'll
you
probably
were
be
a Kirk
Penix.
fan. You were a Kirk
I,
fan.
I was. I was.
Yeah, no, I don't judge you for that. I don't judge you for that.
No, like if he had a bad game, he had a bad game. I'm not one of those guys that just give excuses. I thought he was a good quarterback for us statistically, but that's all right. We moved on. We moved on.
Yeah, yeah. But I do see that as a win. I think you do too. I believe you see that as a victory as well.
Yep, 2-0.
2-0. All right. Then we got the Bengals coming to Minneapolis, and I think that's a win. I think Justin Jefferson's going to show the entire NFL why he's better than Jamar Chase. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a victory. I think we're going to go 3-0. What about you?
I think it's going to be a shootout for sure. You're going to have to score the most points to win, obviously. And a close one. I think I'll take the Vikings in that one. 3-0.
Okay. Here's what I don't like: the two on the road games. First of all, which one's being played in Dublin and London? Because I know it's against the Steelers then the Browns, but I can't really put my finger on which one is which. Are the Browns the
Steelers is
Dublin
in
game? Because
Dublin.
whichever one's the London game.
Yeah, Steelers in Dublin, and then Cleveland is in London.
Okay, whichever one's in London, I have the Vikings winning. We just cannot lose in London.
Okay.
So in that case, the Steelers, or I think the Steelers. I don't know. It's just that it's an overseas game that's what kind of throws me off.
Mm-hmm.
This is a hard one. I think the Vikings are the better football team, but the environment and just the crowd might have an effect. I
I
don't know
won't
about
be
this one.
surprised if we
I'm a little
lost
stuck.
that, but I think I'll give the Vikings a win for that.
Okay, I will too. So we're gonna. You think we're gonna win on both overseas games?
I like our chances. It's better than playing at Pittsburgh or at Cleveland too. So
I mean, yeah, it's a neutral location, so I'm gonna say the Vikings can win both games. Then the
mhm.
Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles, coming to Minnesota to play the Vikings. This is gonna be a physical game. What do you think about the results?
I think that will probably be our first loss of the season, unfortunately, to the Eagles. Hopefully not, but that's what I have.
Oh, the heart in me says Vikings, but the head in me, I don't know. The head in me doesn't like our chances that much. I still root
That's
for
what
us.
I'm
Of course, I
saying.
still think that we have an opportunity, but it's like, oh man, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I know.
But if we win that, if you think about it this way, if we win that, then it gives our team better optimism heading into LA for the Chargers, which I think will be a win as well. Or no, sorry, a win after the Eagles game.
Yeah.
And then we have the Lions after. First of all, I didn't get your opinion on the Chargers game. Do you think we're gonna win that if we're gonna go over to LA?
I think going to LA, we're gonna have to stop the run. I think we got the the personnel to do that, so I'll say a win for that.
Okay, but I did notice something. From about the 2020 season to about the 2021 season, I think around those times, we were cursed whenever we went to LA. We always lost in Seattle for a long amount of time. We
Mm-hmm.
always lost. We lost against the Niners in week I believe it was week 12 of the 2021 season. We lost that game. The Rams, I believe I already mentioned. Did I already mention the Rams?
I don't think so.
Or no, it was the Seahawks and the Niners.
Yeah,
Uh,
Seahawks
the
Niners.
Rams, I believe we went. Oh, we went to LA and we lost last season. So that was the problem there
Yep.
too. But just going out west has always been an issue for us. You know.
Yeah, it can never resolve it. I don't know why. Don't know why.
Mm. The things that I hated the most was when we actually had a chance of winning, especially against Russell Wilson and all those controversial games, and then it just ended up with him. And first of all, that Week 5 game of 2020 where DK Metcalf got the game-winning touchdown. Let's be
Oh,
real. They got lucky. There were so many fourth downs where he could have made a stop. Even that Alexander Madison run where he needed 1 yard. Just the pain that I felt when he couldn't get
I know.
that
It's
one
like,
yard. It
man,
was
what
like
are
a
you
welcome to
doing?
Vikings football moment for me for sure. I was only 10.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah. But we have the Lions next. This one's
in
tough.
Detroit.
I say we'll get him next time. I think this will be a loss.
Yeah, I do have a loss too. Yeah, in Detroit.
In Detroit, yeah.
Yeah.
I think last year, what we saw last year, the Minnesota Vikings were the better football team, but the mistakes that we made with it wasn't necessarily only Sam's fault. I can't say the same for the last game that we had, but the week
Mm-hmm.
5 or was it weeks it was either 5 or 6. Might have been week 7 even. Um but last year against the Lions, the earlier game at home, there were many speculations about what could have happened instead. There was even one comment about the Vikings going for it from their own territory, so that if the Lions got the ball back, they kicked the field goal and we'd still have
Mm.
time. I can see sort of the logic in that, but I don't fully agree with it to the point where it could have guaranteed us a win. But
Sure.
anything would have been better than what we saw. The way we lost, it was just so heartbreaking. It was so because we knew we had that game in the bag, you know, and
Yep.
we were competing with the Lions. We managed to stay close to them. We
It
managed
was
to
close.
keep up
Yeah.
with them in the scoring. And we had the lead. We had the lead, and we had the win too. We should have had the win at least.
Right. I know. Frustrating game. Frustrating game.
Absolutely frustrating. Absolutely. What's up, Crown Juice? Shout out to you. Thank you for joining the live stream. Really appreciate you. I see you a lot in Uncle Rap's live streams. Really awesome guy you are. I believe I met you at Skullfest. I believe I met him at Skullfest. I think. One of the guys that was there was this 2023. I think it might have been the first Skullfest, which was 2023. Yeah, I think I met you. I'm pretty sure. Um, Leave it in the chat though if I did or didn't meet you, but I'm pretty sure if my memory recalls it that I did. The Ravens are next. The Ravens travel to
Ooh.
Minnesota to play us, so obviously I think we have the better color purple. The light purple is always better than whatever that other purple is. So I think it's dark purple. Um,
Yeah.
but what do you think about this? Because I think physically the Ravens are a better team, and they just got Jair Alexander, so it's going to be tough. What do you think?
Uh. Yeah. I mean, the Ravens just got to stay healthy this year. I think that's kind of like their number one thing. With Lamar, with Derrick Henry, with Jair Alexander. So if they can stay healthy, I think they'll make a pretty good run. But with us being at home, who's the better team? By this point in time, the Vikings might be a little beat down from that Lions and Vikings or Lions and Eagles game, and then maybe even the Chargers too. So I think that'll be a sneaky win for the Ravens. I'll say.
Yeah. It's the hard truth we have to face. The Bears
Yep.
come to Minnesota. We both know it's a win. We both know it. I mean, we're
Win.
we're the better team, obviously. I think we beat Chicago. Uh, as for scoring, I'm not really going to get into scoring. It's a little too early for that, but I think it's a victory.
Yeah, for sure.
Then the Packers. I don't even care that it's in Green Bay. I still think we win, even though the game is in November. But still, I think it's a victory for us.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really like the Packers overall team. I think we're a better overall team at this point. So, bearing health, I think we do beat the Packers.
I think so too. I think so too. Then the NFL puts us in Seattle again,
Woo!
the second consecutive year. And one thing that I noticed too is in the 2018, 2019, and 2020 season, we had to face Seattle in Seattle, and they always wore their lime green jerseys against us. They always did.
Mm-hmm.
It was the 2018. So in 2018, they wore the full green like jersey and pants. 2019 and 2020, they just wore the green jersey than the regular dark blue pants. But still, it's always
Yep.
the lime green they wore against us until last year that we played them.
Right. Right. Yeah, I always like their uniform combos. I really do. I like that lime green or action
I do
green they
too,
call
but for some reason there are other fans that don't like them. They say that they look kind of like highlighters. I mean, I guess they're not
it.
wrong, but they're still pretty cool. I mean, I wear
Well,
them a
it's a
lot in
cool looking
Madden.
highlighter, I guess.
Yeah, very cool looking highlighter for sure.
So
But I think we sneak out a win in Seattle. After what I saw against them last year, we have the potential to beat Seattle in Seattle. I think the Seahawks are going to be a team that might be a slight force to be reckoned with against or in their home territory because
yep.
it could be rainy and just kind of dirty out there. And Sam Darnold will be the starting quarterback for them, so that's going to be pretty interesting. But I think we have the victory in
Yeah.
our reunion, sort of, with our former quarterback.
A little revenge game. Oh yeah.
So that's us in Washington. Now a Washington D.C. team comes to Minnesota. Now the Commanders, Jaden Daniels, J.J. McCarthy. It's going to be an interesting. It's going to be an interesting battle between the two teams, between the two quarterbacks. But I don't know what to say about this one, But
Yeah, Washington is a fun team to watch. They really are. I do like their team. Uh, is it enough to beat the Vikings though? Is it enough? Do they have enough firepower to do it? Maybe they might. But I have the Vikings winning this one for sure.
okay, I think I agree. Scary Terry, though, well, not so scary anymore, requested a trade, so I
Yep.
think he may not even be a commander by the time we play them.
Oh, hopefully not.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
Well, we all know that Justin Jefferson is way better, miles
Oh
better,
yeah,
light years better.
that's not even a conversation.
Scary Terry sort of fell off,
Oh yeah.
or no, he didn't really fall off, but his production has been just a teeny bit less than it used to be.
Oh yeah. Right. Just needs a new scenery.
Yeah. Hope he finds a team that's good for him and not a rival for us. Obviously, not a rival to
Right.
us.
Don't need that.
Um, mhm. Now we got the Cowboys in Dallas. The last time we played the Cowboys in Dallas was back in the 2019 season, I believe, is what it was.
Yep.
Um, so I think it's a win for us, though.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not a big Cowboys fan this year. I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to do, but yeah, I think the Vikings definitely get this one.
Okay, okay. I don't think the Cowboys have quite enough. They don't have quite enough to beat us. They don't have enough to really stand up to our team enough. Even though they're playing in their home
Mm-hmm.
territory, I still don't think it'll be enough to beat Minnesota.
Mm.
So I think it's a win for us. And Micah Parsons requested a trade, so he might not even be a Cowboy either by the time we play them.
Hopefully not.
So the NFC East, they're having a lot of toxic relationships with their players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be good for them. Um, Now on to the Giants. That's a win for us. No need to explain.
Yeah. No explanation. That's a dub.
Yeah, yeah. Now the Lions on Christmas Day. What do we think about that one? I think it's a win in a very intense, high scoring game. I'm talking like 45, 40, 35, 30. Scores like that. I think it's going to be a very intense and high scoring game in our
Yeah, it's going
favor.
to be a very high scoring game for sure. I think with us being at home, We need a win on the Lions. We need that bad. We haven't beat the Lions for like 2 3 years now. I think we finally beat the Lions at this point.
Mm-hmm, for sure. Then the Packers in Minnesota, I think, will be a win for us too. So where does that leave
Yeah.
us in our record? I think
Let's
what
see.
13-4 maybe.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
So
11,
we said
12.
we lose to the
So around
Eagles.
13,
We
14
said we
wins.
lose. Okay, so around
Somewhere
that
around there.
area. Yeah, I think
And,
it's
and
fun. But
that's being
hey,
generous.
keep on. Oh, sorry.
No, it's all good.
Hmm, Wi-Fi is a little weird. Um,
Oh,
but keep on providing the great clips for us. We really appreciate it. I know Vocal Vike does. I know I do as well. It gives us great
hmm,
insight, and I know we know that you put in a lot of hard work for these clips to come to us. It's a great commitment you have to this team and to the fans. I think I'm going to call you an insider as well. I think you've deserved that title for sure, Mr.
appreciate it.
Clip King.
Yeah, yeah. I really do it for the people that like you and Vocal Vike, that just aren't in Minnesota to be at these practices and that want to see them. So, it's not like I put film out on Twitter for other people to see. That's not what it is. It's just exciting plays that happen. A pick, a touchdown, a big completion. That's really all that I post. So, I think it's really nice that you guys get to enjoy these clips, and just for everybody too, to kind of have fun with.
All right. Yeah, I may be an out of state fan, but my heart, my mind, my best interests, they're all in Minnesota. And so is my birth, by
Mhm.
the way. I was born in Minnesota, lived there, raised there for 7 years, so I'm no stranger to the state, So that's
Yeah.
why it's always extra exciting when I get to make it for Skull Fest and for the games, just to come back and experience and relive my home, the greatness of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Always love Minnesota.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on, Dustin. Really appreciate you. It's great not just talking to you on Twitter, but to be able to
Mhm.
have a vocal conversation with you and just talk Vikings. Even about life. Life seems like it's going great for you right now. As a Vikings fan, as a guy, I think it's going
Yeah.
great. I think it's a great
Yeah.
summer too. Really hot though. Very hot.
Oh my God, so hot. Yeah, it's yeah, I appreciate you having me on here. It's fun to talk Vikings. Anytime you want me on, I'll talk Vikings with you, and just NFL Vikings, whatever it is. So I appreciate the content that you do as well. You're doing amazing. You're always on the come up. So yeah, I appreciate you having me on here.
Absolutely. And to you guys, thank you all for watching. Thank you to all the fans that make what I do possible, that give me the recognition that I deserve. Thank you everyone in the chat. And I will also drop the links for the stuff that you guys want to find out more about, like my second channel, like my merch links, for anyone who hasn't placed their order yet. Dustin, have you gotten a hat yet or a shirt or anything?
I have not yet. I should.
Oh, come on. You
I
got
know.
to. You got
I know.
to.
I'll do it sometime soon. I got you.
100% though. Appreciate it. Thank you guys
Yeah.
so much. And Skull Vikings.
Skull Vikes.
Thanks, Mr. Clip King, for coming on.
Oh
Skull.
yeah, for sure.